Hello everyone and welcome to Stitching It Easy. My name is Ashley. Thank you all so very much for joining me. My crazy wild hair today. Okay, tomorrow is the craft fair, so starting the vloggy thing as I call them here. Yeah, tomorrow's the craft fair. Getting all the things ready. They finally emailed me back and I can have one rack. So I have an 8-foot table and then one rack. So I'm going to put the crochet makes and like wearables and LuLaRoe on the rack. I'm not taking all LuLaRoe, just part of it. And then I'm getting ready to go see what I want to do with the table. So I have one 8-foot long table. I have one here that's 6 feet long. So I'll have a little bit extra, but the kiddos are putting things up there too, so that works out. Anyway, I have several amigurumi and things that I've made over the last few days to add to everything. And so just trying to figure out what I'm putting on the table. Like I said, since usually we have 3 tables and 2 racks, our space is going to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay. I'm going to put the things out that are like, I don't know, eye-catching, I guess. Put things out and then put like other inventory under the table. Let's all hope that we have to get into the tubs of extra inventory. That would be awesome. This is the one, sorry if I'm shaking you guys. This is the one I was telling you guys about that is only 3 hours long, and I'm nervous. That's not very long. One day is not very long, much less only 3 hours, so I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's a success. Again, I hear it is, but I hear that every time, so I don't know. But anywho, so I hope it's good. We shall see. I have things in tubs right now, like according to size and therefore price, and then some things that are like for extra inventory in a bag. And I want to take the rack that has the 2 rows on it, so that way I have plenty of room. Breathe. Okay, I'm getting ready to do like a table setup, and that'll be like a different video. This one I'll just hopefully vlog somewhat throughout the day, obviously, at least get like the booth set up, or well, the table set up. I have some shelves or like some tubs that I'm going to add for height and things, and I don't know what to do with the leggings. I'm kind of panicking about that one, but other than that, I think we're good. So Finn and B are going with me, which is awesome. I thought Finn had to work, he doesn't, so that's awesome. So a little extra help. All right. See y'all in a minute. Okie doke. So it's the morning of the craft fair. Had a little bit of coffee. I'm tired. That's really close. How you doing? Okay. So I have, this is my table. I took part of the beads down and stuff. Starting to put things in tubs. Anyway, just wanted to come show you guys this. We're getting ready to head them up, move them out here in just a little bit after I get all this done. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully it's a good day. We'll see. So anyway, I did the table setup and all that, and so I put that video up. Anyway, I think it's going to be good. This was 6 feet, so that gave the kids 2 extra feet then for their stuff. So see you guys there. Okie doke. How y'all doing today? It is officially Monday. The craft fair was on Thursday, so I've had a little bit of time to just, we'll say, decompress and think about things, I guess. Okay, so it's Monday morning. got my coffee. Don't judge me. I have a Christmas mug. It's not even Thanksgiving, but it is cold and rainy and nasty out, so I rocked my big comfy sweater. So let's chat, shall we? Grab your coffee if you want. Drink of choice. Shoot, put some Baileys in there. Do you? Do you? Okay. So, all right. First things first. Sorry for the ridiculous background. Like, the clutter is making me mad. Just like, not like mad like upset, but like mad like a little loopy. Just like looking at it in the background, it's a lot. I've been wanting to organize this, make it right. Yesterday I got up, I cleaned off the couch, the table, and a little bit of our bedroom, and I slept for like 5 hours. So I'm gonna learn to pace myself when I'm cleaning. But also I think this would be a good video, just kind of like redoing the whole thing. So I think I'll take y'all along with me. I've worked on it a little bit, but it's like it just keeps getting worse. So green screen, pretend it's all pretty back there. Okay, so yeah, we had the craft fair on Thursday. I didn't really think I was gonna go up until like 9 or 10 a.m., something around there, the day of. I had felt really bad 2 or 3 days before that. Derek kept telling me he was going to take me to the hospital because I just kind of laid in the fetal position and cried a lot because I was hurting and just didn't feel well at all. And so he didn't really want me to go, just to be honest. But I had already paid the $75. He kept telling me it's just $75. Like, in the scheme of things, it's more important for you to stay here. Probably should have listened. But anyway, but yeah, it was in my hometown. So my mom went and sat up there with us. We obviously decided to go. So Squirrely Dan, what's their name? Squirrely Dan and Miss B went with us and went with me. So 3 of us in the car, all the craft things. I took the LuLaRoe stuff because I was told I could have a rack. It's an 8-foot table and there was enough room for a rack. And I was like, okay, great. So we get there. We were supposed to start unloading. We can have from like 2:45 to 4:45 to set up. Must be set up by 5. This is the one that had like all the everything in caps. Pretty sure Control Freak put this one on. It was insanity. So must be set up by 4:45. Cannot come in until 2:45. Like, that's 2 hours. So must be tore down by 9, that whole thing. I'll remember. Okay. So we got there like 2:30. So we had time to breathe for a second. That was kind of nice. Got all the things out, opened the doors, started going in. So all 3 of us, because I was like, let's go see where our table is before we like take anything at all. So we all went to the front, to the lobby, and whenever you go, which is another thing I didn't like, so I've told you guys it was, or maybe you have never seen me before. Hello, how you doing? This is what had happened. Okay, so it was 3 hours long. The show was 3 hours, so it was from 5 until 8. It was $75, aka 75 doll hairs, to do this show. And then, and I didn't know this part, so already I was just like $75. I don't know, that's a lot. And then we had to give them a door prize, a $25 at least, like worth at least $25 door prize. I was like, that's $100 out of my pocket for 3 hours. These things would have been cool to know before, because I had no idea about the door prize until, let's see, 3 days before, I think. So, anywho, so, yeah. Now, before we get too into this, like I said, we're $100 in already. A little bit irritated about that, but I'm like, you know what? It's going to be all right. I was one of the first people to sign up for this show. That happens a lot. I've noticed if I'm one of the first people, maybe don't be. I'm figuring this out. So one of the first people to sign up for this show. This summer I had a show. I kept saying it was at my hometown. The same lady put this one on. So she put the big huge event on. She also put this one on. That was on Thursday. So like whenever we did the one in the summertime, she told me about this one and I was like, absolutely, I'd love to be a part of it. That sounds amazing. And kept asking her like, when and where do I sign up? And so yeah, needless to say, I was one of the very first people to be like, yes, please. So, okay. It's important to this part, trust me. So the three of us go in the little front lobby to do our check-in. We have our door prize in hand. I gave them a little bag with a bee. I'll be real with y'all, I just gave one of my like cheaper bees because I was just like, this is a lot of money and I don't think it's gonna be that great. I just don't, to make it worth being $100 for 3 hours. So I gave them one of my smaller bees in a little bag with a business card, so just in case they can get a hold of me, whatever. So I have that. We go on the front. It's like, what is your business name? I'm like, hello, how are you? We are Stitching Ain't Easy. They're like, okay, easy. So we're supposed to get a bag full of goodies. So the lady turns around to get ours. She can't find it. Should have been my first like waving red flag. Actually, the email with all the new information with like the must be set down, must be put up, must be blah blah blah, must bring a prize, must bring a $25 thing. That was probably red flag number 1. So red flag number 2, like this, like waving in my face, was that they didn't have our bag ready, or they didn't have our bag. So I'm like, okay. And so another lady comes up and she's like, who are you looking for? And she's like, Stitching Ain't Easy. She's like, it's with the S's. Like, duh, you know? So she turns around. She's like, yeah, of course, it's with the S's. So they look and they don't see it. So the one just walks off. I'm like, where'd you go? So she leaves. I'm like, well, maybe it's under, my name, like Ashley. I was like, maybe it's under that. She's like, oh, okay. Looks. So she just leaves. She can't find it. She just leaves. And I'm like, so the three of us are just standing there in the lobby. This is, 2:55, let's say at this point. So we're already cutting into our setup time. So I'm just sitting there like, where did they go? And the kids were like, I don't know. I'm like, all right. So we start looking at the playbill, like the upcoming events. And just so happens Mean Girls, they're going to do a play of Mean Girls there in February. So we were all very excited about that, hoping to go back to that one. So I guess that was a thing that we got to do. That can be exciting. But yeah, looked at the playbill. We're like, oh, we need to go to that show. That would be fun. I mean, just standing there waiting. No one's in there. No one's saying a word. Finally, another lady comes up. I mean, we were standing there a good 5 minutes. Another lady finally comes up and is like, hi, how are you? You guys checking in? I was like, we're trying to. And she's like, okay. She's like, what's your business name? So I tell her, and she turns around and she's like, okay, to get my thing, can't find it. I don't say anything about like, hey, there's already been 2 other people trying to find us, what the heck? So I'm like, okay. So I just stand there and let her look. And she's like, oh, okay, I don't see, let me just go check real quick. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's what everyone else is doing. So she leaves. Finally, the first lady comes back. Do I hear that? It's storming. I should just set y'all up in the window, let you listen to rain sounds today. That'd be nice. So, like it's storming outside. So anyway. So I'm just standing there like, and she looks, whatever, can't find it. The first lady comes back and she walks in. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This was all my fault. She's like, I don't know what happened, where your bag went. She's like, and I'm so sorry. She's like, just come on in here and we'll get you set up and then I'll bring you your bag. I'm like, these chicks don't have a bag for us. I paid this much money. These chicks don't even have a bag. Like, it was seriously like the unwelcome step kid. Like, everyone else had a bag. Everyone else had their stuff ready. There was no bag for us. She's like, well, I'll bring it to your table in a little bit. And I was just like, okay. So we go back, which, I was nice. This is how I felt inside. Outside, I was like, okay, that'll be great. Thank you. So she takes us back to our table and there's stuff all over the table. And I just kind of look at her and she's like, oh, this lady, she's like, she's going to have to move her stuff. they like had a table and then they were putting their stuff over here. She's like, but this is your table. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking maybe they just, you know, put their stuff on my table. And then about a minute after that, the lady that had the stuff on the table is on the phone. And she's like, hey, I don't know what's going on. She's like, you and I are going to have to share a table now. She's like, they took the other table, so we're going to have to share a table. I'm like, not only did they not have a bag, they also didn't have a table for us. Okay. So I'm like pretty upset at this point. So I'm like, let's go get the stuff out of the car. I mean, I'm ready to leave. Had they not already had my money for like a while, we would have left. So I'm like, okay, let's just go get the stuff and start setting up and just be happy people and go from there. So we go get the stuff. Finn goes get, I didn't. Finn went to get the stuff. B and I, like, moving things. They said, well, these other people are getting their crap off of our table. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? So the way they had us set, there are 3 tables on the wall. We were in the middle. The other 2 tables are, I'm not kidding, this far away from our table. So there was no way to get in and out. Like, you know, God forbid we had to go to the restroom or get a drink or just walk. We had to go in front of, like, behind the other people's tables, like, be in their way, or crawl underneath our table, which we did a couple times because it was like, I can't get out. Like, especially when everyone's setting up, there's nowhere to go. There's just stuff everywhere and people are moving about. So we were like crawling back and forth underneath the table. I did it, I think, 2 times. I have no idea how many times the kids did it. Like, way more than that. I feel like one's way more than necessary. Yeah. I had emailed the lady the day before, like double checking, because I had mentioned it whenever I signed up, mentioned it at another point, mentioned it the day before, was like, hi, just so you know, I sell LuLaRoe. Will I have room for a rack? Like, I'm willing to just bring 1 rack. I know it's just 1 table. Can I do that? And like, just put it next to us, behind us, somewhere. Absolutely. There will be plenty of room for you to have a rack. Please bring your rack. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I take all the LuLaRoe clothes down, put them all in the car, bring the rack, all of that. We get there, like I said, there's this much room in between the tables next to us, and we are right against the wall. There is this much room for a rack. There's not even really enough room for like our stuff, like our crochet and their things, the kiddos' artwork, much less a rack for LuLaRoe. So I'm just like, are you kidding me? Not only do they not have all of our things, not only are they being ridiculously ridiculous, also, I can't put up half of my inventory. Awesome. So we didn't put up any LuLaRoe anything. I put a little sign out that was like, hey, I sell LuLaRoe. No one cared because they're like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I'm an engineer, neat, whatever. So no one cared. So didn't get to set LuLaRoe out. So I set all of the other things. You guys probably already saw the clip of how everything looked. Miss B was the videographer. Took a video of how things were set up. So we get everything set up. So yeah, the show starts at 5, and every 15 minutes they give away door prizes. And so I thought that our things were like gonna be auctioned off or something, and they were gonna get, you know, like money or something like that, which I was just kind of like, okay, like, it's also crummy that, you know, you pay the entry deal and also, you know, you give them something, but okay. If they're auctioning it off, then okay. They just gave them away as door prizes, which I was just like, you know, why does it have to be worth $25 then? Couldn't it have been like a stitch marker? Why does it have to be, you know, whatever. Anyway, this is how I felt about it, because I was pretty upset about the whole thing. So it was just like, really. So, okay. Anywho, so before, I didn't mention this, before the show starts, they're like, hey y'all, there's pizza in the back. And we're like, what? Because we saw like the Domino's dude like bring food, or not the Domino's guy, like a guy bringing in Domino's. Anyway, there's pizza in the back, and it's free for all the vendors. And I'm just like, okay. It was another one of those things of like, we brought our own sandwiches because we're kind of used to doing craft fairs. Like, I would have preferred, say, spent $30 and y'all kept your pizza. Same thing as your mystery gift bag that we've yet to receive. So, like, whatever. Kids, stock up. Go get pizza. So they went and got them a couple slices of pizza. Came back. About this time, the lady brings her bag. So I'm like, okay, Ashley, like, get over it. You know, like, they gave us pizza. They're giving us this bag for whatever. Like, you know, we're giving a gift thing away. Like, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be fine. So I opened the gift bag because I'm like, surely there's something in here. I opened the gift bag. There's a bag of Chex Mix, a bottle of water. There are 3 of us. A bottle of water, a bag of Chex Mix, which is fine again, but like, anyway, a business card, and then a survey. It's like, would you do the show again? What do you think? What's your business name? Like, you have to write your business name and everything on there. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is the gift bag. Okay. Again, it was just like, breathe. The show's going to be fine. Just breathe. So, show starts. There's a line going outside or whatever of people to come in the show. So I'm like, sweet. It's going to be a good one. Those same people who are in the line were there pretty much the whole time. Because like, so they do door prizes. So it's like you would see the same person walk past your table like 9 times. So it was the same group of people. It wasn't like new people were coming and guess what, whatever. Because I kept thinking that. I'm like, they're handing out all these door prizes. Like, are these people even still here? You know, it's been 2 hours. Like, surely they're not still here. And then, like, as we kind of sat there, you would kind of notice, like, these are the same people who just keep walking around and they're not vendors. So apparently they were just hanging out. I don't know. It was very odd. So after 15 minutes, they gave away, like, I think 4 or 5 door prizes. But yeah, it was like the same few people the whole entire time. There were 3 other crochet booths, or 2 other crochet booths, which I don't think is very cool. If you're only going to have a select number of booths, people should have different things. That's how I feel about it. The kids went and walked around at one point and came back, and they're like, the other crochet lady is, you know, selling her stuff for not very much. Then when my mom got there, she went around and she was like, her most expensive thing is $15. And I was like, what? And she's like, even like her big, huge, giant things, she's like, the most expensive one is $15. She's like, almost everything else is like $5 on her table. Okay. There's another one. I was like, well, how do I compete with that? You know, like, they're going to walk around, see my stuff at $10, see the same thing on hers for like $2, you know. So I was just like, great. So we just kind of sat back and whatever. Ended up, B sold some things. So honestly, that made it worth it just for that. B made 5 sales. Yeah. Oh. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, so B made 5 sales. So that was really worth it. She's been using, she makes her jewelry and does her artwork, but she's been really into perler beads lately, like the little bitty beads. You make pictures and then you iron them. So she made some keychains and different things out of those. So everyone was really excited. We have the one coming up at the college. And that's the reason she was like most excited to make those things. She's like, I think college kids will really like these. I was like, I think you're right. So she had a few of her things ready, so she put them out. But yeah, she sold 5 things. I sold some things. Finn had someone come up really interested in his stuff and was asking about it, which is really cool. But I sold enough to literally break even. It's a good thing they did give us pizza, because like, not counting food, we absolutely broke even. I made enough for booth rent, that stupid $25 thing, and gas. And that was it. And whenever we left, I was so excited, so exhausted. So, okay, I didn't tell you this part. So it gets to the end of the night or whatever. The lady comes over. It's like 8:45. The lady comes over I guess we could call it a microphone. I don't know what was happening. None of us could understand anything she was saying. Like every third or fourth word we could understand, but it's like talking into the microphone, had her right up to her mouth or something. It was all very muffled. And even whenever no one was in there, I couldn't understand what the heck she was saying. But she got on her little microphone. It was like, shoppers, you have 15 minutes, like, to make your final selections and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there are like, you know, several people in here, but it was like, y'all need to go on with it. And I'm like, okay. So she comes back on at 9:01, or I mean at 8:01. And she's like, vendors, you have 59 minutes to get all of your stuff loaded up, put everything out of here, your card that's in your bag. She's like, write it, fill it out, put your business name on it, lay it on your table. You have 59 minutes to get all of your stuff out of here. And I was just like, whoa, like this was not for the vendors at all. You can't even tell me it was. That home must be set up by this time. It's gonna cost you $100. We're gonna give you a friggin' bag of Chex Mix and 2 pieces of Domino's, and you know, for that. And but then not even have your bag. Like, so that's just it. That's what really kind of put me over whenever we got there, and they didn't even have our stuff. Did not have a table for us. Move someone else so that we would have a table. Made me real upset. So yeah, they're like, leave your card that says whatever and then your business name at the top. And I'm like, that's not right, that this isn't anonymous, and that you have to leave it on the table you were at. Because I have a lot to say, but I would like to do the one that I already know is a good one next summer. So it's like, if I say something, is that going to boot me out then of the one for next summer? And I'm like, that's not right. So we're still like getting stuff off of our table. And the lady comes up and just like rips the number, because it's like, you know, you have number 19 is your space or whatever. She comes up and just like rips that off or whatever. And doesn't say like, thanks for coming, kiss my foot, nothing. Just like rips it off and just like walks off. And I'm like, okie doke. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna write what I think, because it's not nice. Like, y'all didn't even know I was here. So yeah, it comes on, said y'all have 59 minutes to get your stuff, blah, blah, blah. So Finn was worried about that. We all kind of were worried about that, because it's like, and she even said that, she's like, you know, if you don't have it, she's like, it's a $60 late fee, or a $60 fee for being here late. And I was just like, again, I don't know who's paying that if they are here that long. There are people there that had jewelry, people there that had like wreaths and ceramic things. There's no way that they had all their things put up. We just had tubs and kind of threw them in there. We didn't have the LuLaRoe. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have made it. We just kind of like threw all the things in, and nothing's organized like it was so organized before, because it was like, we just need to get out of here. I can't do this. So we leave. I'm exhausted, pretty upset. The kids are exhausted. So my mom lives in town, so it was like, let's just stay the night here. So we just stayed the night with my mom. Went the next day, got some yarn and stuff, because I did have one lady that came up, and she asked if I had any elephants, and I told her that I didn't, but that I'm willing to do a custom order. Because I know that Super Gurumi has a really cute elephant pattern, and I've made their patterns before, and I like them. And so I was like, yeah, you know, I can do a custom order for one. And she was like, okay, that'd be great. So I'm like, I already have gray yarn. And then she was like, can you make it purple? And I was like, yeah, I can do it purple. And so anyway, so that was one thing that was kind of good, I suppose. B ended up staying with my mom. Finn had to work, so he had to come home. Squirrely Dan was already here because he was at work. Sucks to get old, that's all I know. So anyway, so yeah, she ended up staying. So like, whenever she comes home, I'm gonna swap Miss B out for an elephant. And then my mom's gonna take the elephant to the lady, because she just lives like right next to the community center where we were. But Anyway, this is what I have so far of her elephant. I have the tusks done too, but I didn't snag this. But this is, so the super gurumi pattern. But yeah, so we went to get some yarn and stuff at Hobby Lobby. I have a few things to show you guys. I'll do that in a different video because this one's mostly just me belly aching about a real lame craft fair. But anywho, this is the, what's it called? The Yarn Bee Velvety Smooth. It's purple. It doesn't really look purple in here. I'll give you that. See, it's purple. So anyway, it's dark purple. Kawaii eyes. These are his little feet. His feet. So she wanted in purple and she wanted light purple. So I did light purple on his little feet, and then I'm gonna do light purple on his arms. She wanted like the trunk and the ears, I think, to be light purple. I wrote it all down, but I'm like, that's gonna look funny because elephant's all one color. So anyway, I didn't do it. Also, the pattern, it wasn't like it changed colors or anything, and it would have looked kind of weird if this was purple and then it had light purple ears. So anyway, his trunk. So yeah, that's what I have so far. Like I said, I have his tusks done. That's all gonna be light purple, all that. So he's still gonna have light purple on there, but yeah, so I'm almost finished with that. I'll show you all that whenever I get it finished, but at least I got that, I guess. I sold a black snake, like the big long black snake. There was a lady with a little boy. They came around, like I said, it was all kind of the same people. They came around like 4 times or something like that to the table, and every time they came around, the little boy looked at the black snake, and his mom kept trying to like, look at this bee, and he was just like, look at this snake. It was so funny. And he had a little Frankenstein he'd got purchased from somewhere else, a little crochet Frankenstein. And they kept coming by, and then they would like leave and come back, and she'd be like, but look at this bee, and he's like, this snake. And so anyway, finally, whatever, and she's like, he keeps looking at that snake, and I was like, yeah, I noticed that you know, he wasn't really veering off from that snake. And so anyway, so she bought him the snake, which I thought was cute. It was like, at this point, like, I'm about ready to give him the snake because like, poor kid. So anyways, he got the snake, which is really cute. I did sell a bee. I sold a little mini octopus. Oh, I sold a jellyfish, like a bigger jellyfish. And I think that was about it. Honestly, like the big ticket items are what made my booth rent back, which is usually not at all the thing. Usually it's the little $5 and $10 things, and then I sell a couple of other things. So that was even kind of wild. Especially because like we're this close to the holidays, and so I thought because of what it was that, you know, but like hardly anyone really was buying from anywhere. I feel like that's kind of the theme these days with craft fairs, which is fine. That's a whole other deal. But $75 for 3 hours plus a $25 gift is like, that's excessive. So anyway, so yeah, so that was basically it, I guess. I think I feel like there's some other something that is like, oh my gosh, this thing, but I can't remember. So yeah, anyway, would I do this one again? Absolutely not. Simply because I've been to ones before that are like $100 for 2 days, and it's like, wow, that's a lot. Because it is for a 10 by 10 space, and this was just one table. Why I signed up for it, I don't know. Mostly because the summertime one, I was still like, that was amazing from like the one in the summer, because it was in my hometown and I got to finally do that one and all that. So it was like I was wanting to do another one up there just because. And so yeah, was not worth it. Was way too much money for one single table, not even a rack that I was promised I could have one single table, and that was all. There was a hat lady to our left. She was super cool, made her hats, made the hat bands, super neat lady. B bought a hat from her, super cool. The lady to the right, they said already didn't like us because they tried to they gave her table to me. You know what I mean? Which was not my fault. I'm just gonna, but she had like a baker's rack back behind her. Because she was kind of over a little bit. So she had room to put a rack behind her. And they had like Christmas ornaments and stuff. So all of their things were like $2 and $3 a piece. So it looked like they were selling like crazy. But again, how many do you have to sell at $2 or $3 a piece to make up that money? So that's wild to me. Then like across from us, there were like a lot of, which I can't say anything, I saw LuLaRoe, but there were a lot of like MLMs. It wasn't even really like all craft people. There was the Plexus lady, like the one like Scent or whatever it is, like the makeup lady. What all? Let's see. There were several of them, but that's really all that there was. There was one table that was just like Mary Maid's cleaning. And they're like, come on up and get a card so we can come clean your house, which I, you know, also was just what it, so it was like really random, like all of the booths. One lady was an author and she just had like her whole table full of books. She's the one that bought the jellyfish. So then there was one lady that had jewelry, wreaths, and things. We almost bought a Grinch wreath, but then it was so cute. But it was like, okay, in 2 months, what are we doing with this thing? Because it was ginormous. So we didn't, because it was like, what are we gonna do with it? You know, it's cute, but what are we gonna do with it? The freeze-dried candy lady that was at the one this summer was there, which is really cool. It was neat to see her again. So yeah. Other than that, there's a tie-dye lady. That was pretty neat. But other than that, it was just really weird. And then like the other two crochet people, they put where they like looked at each other the whole time, which I think is so wrong. And then they were like over in a corner. So it's like you had to deliberately like go that way to even go down there. And then it was a dead end. So it was like people kind of kept just like clustering right there. So you couldn't even really go down there. So that's what Finn was like, we have a good spot because people can just walk through, which was true. But it felt very claustrophobic because we were like right up on top of the people on either side of us. And then, yeah. And at one point it was like we could turn the table sideways and bring the LuLaRoe rack in. And if I'd have been there for any longer than 3 hours, I probably would have done that. But I didn't because we weren't there that long. But yeah, like I said, I would not do this one again. Drinking coffee, sorry. Time out. Filling the clip. Talk amongst yourselves, that whole thing. Linda Richmond coffee talk. Okay. We haven't done one of those in a while. So, yeah. Anyway, would not do it again. They apparently have one in the fall, or in the spring. And I'd heard that or whatever, that was like, the one in the spring wasn't so great. And the lady that was telling me about it was like, we had like, you know, maybe 500 people come through in the spring, but in the fall, she's like, there were like 3,000 people last time. And I'm like, how? But okay, sweet. Before actually, I was like, okay, sweet. At this point, I'm like, how? Because, well, I know that's not true. Because at the end of the night, the lady that was into her microphone mentioned that this was the most people that they'd ever had. She's like, we had 500 and something people in here. That's the most we've ever had. And I was just like, huh, I'll be. So supposedly there were 500 and something people also, though. They let vendors fill out those little slips. So if you were a vendor, you could fill out the little thing like to get a door prize. So like some tables had like multiple people filling out a little slip for a door prize because they were shopping too. What's their thing? It's like vendors go around and shop, so you guys need to be in here too. So that was probably at least 100 of the people. Like, you know, say 2 people a table. So there's no way that there were that many people, 500 and something. There's no way. I'm sure the event people probably put their names in there. I don't know that, but I mean, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? I probably would. I wouldn't, but you know, you never know. Anyway, but yeah, they're like, we've had the most ever. It's 500 and something. And I was just like, okay, hang on a minute. That's a considerable difference from what I heard. I heard there was like, you know, 500 to 1,000 in the spring and then 2,500 to 3,000 in the fall. I said I would love to do the one in the summer next year, but it's really funny because the one that's in the summer, this was their first year doing it. Like they've done it since before I was born, but it's been other people putting it on. It was their first year, this lady's first year doing it. Almost all the vendors complained. I didn't, because I was just happy to be there. It was like our hometown thing and all that. I was just like, oh my gosh, I made it. I'm doing Sunfest. This is so cool. I was so happy. But she came up and even told me that like all the vendors were mad because they either weren't in their usual spots. They were right next to people that were selling like items, kind of like the crochet lady that was directly behind us, stuff like that. And so I don't know if she'll even be doing that one next year. I'm not sure, because she had several people threaten that they weren't coming back. I just don't think that's right. Whenever there are only 40 some vendors and, you know, they put you right across from people that are doing the same thing. So at Sunfest, there were way more than 40 some vendors. I'm talking about like the other night where it's still just like the same people doing, you know, the same kind of thing. So, yeah, wouldn't do it again. It was not great. She said broke even, but B made sales. So that's like my positive coming out of it. B made sales. I was so happy for her. I got to stand right there and be like, here you go, like pay the lady. I had to give her money because one person paid with a card, and then they had one person that came and bought a few things from her and paid cash. So I got my little box and got the rest of her money out. So she got paid right there, which she thought was really cool. But yeah, I don't know. And I was so shocked. Neither of the sea turtles sold, which I was just absolutely like, what in the world about that was just like crazy to me, because I just felt like surely the sea turtles would be a thing. And I'm telling you, that's usually a thing. Like if there's something that I'm like, this thing, and I work really hard on it, it won't sell. It's really weird. So like I need to make 4 of these. Those things won't sell at all. I'll sell something that I've had for a while. I didn't sell not one beanie, no scarves. A lady came up and looked at the scarves and then just laid it back down. It's so bizarre to me, but I haven't, I mean, it's almost the holiday. She'd think, you know, little things like that. It's cold outside, but I don't know. So yeah. Flop, to say the least. Total flop. I said it took me this long to make the video just because it was like, this is the most I can say. Like, this is the most time I've had to be like somewhat nice things about it. Like, I've been pretty upset because of how much it was and how little they seem to care. Just like that, it's like, oh, we got you guys a gift back though. You guys give us, you know, your door prize, or actually just said your $25, what did he even say, donation. So I kept thinking that it was going to be like, oh, they're going to raffle it off, you know. And still, even then, I feel like it should be the door prize or booth rent. That's just me. But it's like, oh, they're going to raffle it off or something. No, they're just drawing a name and just giving it away. And I was just like, why don't y'all get door prizes? Y'all get little bags of candy and do your own thing. So anyway, so I didn't like that much. But yeah, looking at it that way, like I said, but mostly the fact that honestly all of that probably would have been whatever. It was the fact that whenever we got there, they didn't have a table for us, nor did they have a bag ready for us. And it was just like, oh my gosh, that was my fault. Just come on in and then I'll get you your stuff. And it's like, y'all had, it wasn't anyone's, it was collectively all of your faults, because like no one even knew that we were here. What the heck? Or that we were coming. And I paid the money and has been talking to this lady for like 4 months now. Not cool. So yeah. Yeah. So anyway. Okay. That's all I got. I was gonna keep complaining about it because that's all that it was really. It was just, it was a mess. And then like I said, the vendors didn't have room to really move around or do anything. It was really weird. And it wasn't even really, it wasn't at all like I thought it was going to be. I'll just say that. So anyway, but yesterday I had a friend call me and ask if I want to do one in Tulsa next weekend. I don't know that I'm going to, because it's like a flea market thing more than it is like a craft fair. So I don't really think that it's like my crowd, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're gonna come looking for much cheaper things, which I mean is fine, but like, you know, more like it's like that flea market yard sale type items, maybe than like brand new crochet or LuLaRoe clothing. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that one. She does really well there, but she sells antiques. I don't. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that one or not, but if not, then we have the one December 8th. I got another little flyer for them. They've added new things to do. We're going to have an ice skating rink out front, which I am so excited about. So there'll be an ice skating rink. There's going to be a cake decorating like little class, Santa, Christmas carolers, like a tree lighting ceremony. There's carriage rides, and so like I said, if nothing else, that one's $25 for the booth. But if nothing else, just taking the kids and letting them ice skate and do all the things, because all the stuff's free once you get there. So letting them do all that for $25, it's totally worth it. They get hot cocoa, all of those things. So I'm excited about this one. We had a blast last year. We did so well last year. That's where I sold out on succulents last year. So hopefully this year, same thing. And after that, I don't have any planned at all. I don't plan on doing spring or summer or spring ones. I would like to do Sunfest next year just because it was hot, but just to say that I did, it was really cool. We'll see. I don't know if the kids are going to want to do that one again. But yeah, after the college one, I don't have any. And so we were talking on the way up there, the kids and I, we're going to put all of our things up on Etsy, like all of my crochet stuff, all of their makes, all are going to go on Keep Calm Yarn Over Etsy page, and then they'll just be there, and either someone can buy them or not, and we still have them in inventory for the craft fair. And either way, there we go. So I do pretty all right on Etsy. And so yeah, I think that's the plan, Stan, is just to put all the things. And as we were sitting there at the craft fair, I kept thinking that's like I should just start taking pictures now and like putting them up. So I think Finn and I might do that today. I said B isn't here, but I think Finn and I might do that. Just get a whiteboard, some really good lighting, and take some photos of our makes and try to put them up on Etsy because yeah. So I broke even. So like in the scheme of all the prep time and getting everything together and ready, and then coming home and sleeping for 2.5 days, I'm going to say it wasn't worth it. I got to see my mom. I got to go to Hobby Lobby, I guess. Other than that, yeah. Like I said, if I wouldn't have had to write my name on the card and leave it on the table I was already at, I would have been not very nice. I would have let them know exactly how I felt about the whole thing, but I didn't. So yeah, I was already all upset, and then it was like, you have 59 minutes. And I was just like, excuse me, and get your butt over here and help out then. How about that? Lift with your legs, ma'am. Lift with your legs. So I don't know if they're like new to the craft fair thing and they don't know how long it takes us all to set up and take down, because that's more work than just sitting there selling, I can tell you that. So I don't know. It was weird. It was very weird just how they were. And it wasn't like, you know, thanks for being the reason that this is a thing. I mean, it was really weird. So I just felt like the vendors were not their top priority at all. And I don't think that's right, because I feel like that's who makes your show. If we weren't there, then what are y'all gonna do? You know what I mean? So yeah. And the lady that sells the hats next to, or was selling the hats next to us, she had been there in the spring, and she talked about how it wasn't anything in the spring. She's like, so I'm hoping this one's gonna be good, because I heard that it was. And so I was like, well, how did you do at the end? I know she sold the one hat to be, and I kind of think that was it. She may have sold like one, maybe two other ones, but I don't think she sold any. And her hats, it was all insanely reasonable. They were either $20 or $40 for hats that she had made. And then like the one that B got, all the proceeds went to like a women's shelter. It was an amazing, amazing deal. And I don't think, because she didn't make her booth rent back, the people that had all the Christmas ornaments and stuff, I don't know if they made their booth rent back. I didn't ask. They said they weren't fans of me, and that was fine. I didn't do anything. I was just like, okay, fine. So yeah, I don't know that anyone really made it like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. I really don't think so. And like, so I know that times are weird right now. It's like, you know, would you rather have gas and like gas in your tank and food in your car, or would you rather have, you know, crochet something? Like, I get that completely. So I really think that's a lot of it. It's just like no one has money for those things, so they just go and, you know, look around and all, which is totally fine. But I just wish like the event planners would take that into consideration and maybe not charge the vendors so much. Just trying, because we're out there just trying to make a living too. So, you know, but yeah, anyway, okay, I'm done belly aching, because my gosh, that's what I'm going to keep doing. So yeah, hopefully the one at the, let's listen to it storm some more. Okay, anyway, but yeah, hopefully the one at the school will be worth it. It was amazing last year. Like I said, if nothing else, the kids will get to do whatever, and that'll be awesome. It's almost Thanksgiving here in the US of A. Today's Monday, Thanksgiving is Thursday. So that's crazy, because right after Thanksgiving, that's just like birthday, Christmas. That's all that means. I don't know what. And then on the 8th, December 8th, is this channel's anniversary. So I'm sure we'll do something fun for that, because it's like the 8th is the anniversary, the 10th is my birthday. It's a pretty big birthday for me this year. Pretty big deal. So I'm not sure what we're doing, but probably not a whole lot. But either way, yeah, so I'm very excited. So those 2 days will be something fun, and then it won't be long until Christmas, which is crazy. And New Year's, and then it'll be 2024, y'all, because that's how it works. That's how the calendar goes. So anyway, but yeah, we have the one more. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing the flea market, but I just don't know that that's my group. You know, that's my like target market. I'm just not really sure. So anyway, and then after that, like I said, I think if I do any in the spring or summer other than Sunfest, I think, and in the summertime, the music festival that we did last year, because like chef's kiss, that's the best one we've ever done. But other than those, probably just, or maybe like a farmer's market. I think that would be a whole lot of fun, just to have like a set spot every week. People know you're going to be here. That sounds kind of nice. So I can make like strawberry jelly and stuff like that too. I know how to can. I can do things like that too, and then we can have crochet. So I don't know. We shall see. It was a lot. It's a lot of work. Just like prepping, much less all the rest of it. And so the kids are hardcore talking me out of doing them. So they're thinking Etsy and then the occasional live, and that's what I should do. And I think they're right. Etsy, I feel like, would be a really cool thing if I just like put more effort and time into it. So, I mean, it's good as it is, so much less if I put more, you know, oomph into it. And so I think that's what we're gonna do. So I will update y'all if I put all my stuff up there. Otherwise, either way, I'll tell you guys. But I don't know. Crazy. So in the next couple days, I have a yarn haul for you guys. It's just like a mini yarn haul. Hobby Lobby, a little bit of Walmart and things. I have another one that's like another yarn, a mini yarn haul from Dollar Tree. I have like a whole ramblings to go along with that one. It's 2 videos. So I have some things coming up for you guys. Hopefully I'll have another crochet ramblings and stuff, because I have the one elephant almost finished. I think I'm going to make another one to put in inventory because a purple elephant just seems really cute. So I'll finish that one and see how it goes. But anywho, so yeah, videos coming. I'm going to try to get back into putting one out for you guys every day, or pretty close to every day, like even if I batch film and then just put them out, which is what I've kind of been doing, but you know. So all right, so I thank you guys from the very bottom of my heart for listening to me ramble and rant about the last craft fair. You guys have no idea how much it means just to like vent and just like, okay, feel better about it now. So thank you. All right. So for real though, thank you guys for listening to my crochet craft fair belly aching. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderfully, wonderfully blessed day. Please stay safe. Please stay warm. And I will talk to you all very soon.